Hello, hello, hello. Does this work? I have no idea. I wonder what is happening. So nobody knows I'm on. I just figured I'd pop on, see what's out there, but nobody's come on. How about we? Hello there, Nick. How you doing? So you talking about this knife, Nick? This one is the new Laser Ghost Knives Mini Predator. So this is a Book Spot custom that we spent almost a year working on with him. We sent him a whole bunch of billets of Damascus so we would find the one that he liked the best that would go with our idea. And this one is called the Trophy Hunter. Yeah, it's a mini Predator. Yeah, so a lot of his ideas were us giving him like ideas of what we wanted and him executing. And we went back and forth. We were handed this knife in Texas. We told him what we wanted changed. We were handed it in Atlanta. We told him what we wanted him to change. And we finally got it. So these little cracks he filled with tritium. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but they are glow in the dark. And it's basically supposed to represent the trophy hunter's blood. So there's little scratch marks on it by the and that's intentional. Still needs to be worked in. His knives are on washers. And it has he's never done before, a front flipper. It has a teeny back flipper. And we know that we made the detent very strong. So, but the front flipper is my favorite. Yeah, Nick, he really is getting good. I was just bored, so I figured I'd come online and chat with people, see what you guys were up to today. My wife is out seeing her mom. Hayden's still asleep as usual. This is a Vulcan fractal frame lock. He is so good for his price point. It's a Utzler neutralizer. So, I don't know. Haven't decided what I'm going to do today. Whether I'll definitely hit the gym at some point. I'll sit here, play with knives. This is the Usurper. This is Sever Sevens knife in the purple with the gold accents. Kind of wish they did the backspacer in gold. Thinking I might take it apart and anodize the backspacer gold. I don't know. I think it popped really nicely. Hello there, Blessed. How you doing? Just trying to figure out what people are up to today. Too early for Tri-State. Did you actually get to sleep at your sleep study? Interesting. I had a sleep study, but I did it at home. They just gave me the device to put on me. I put on me, slept through the night, sent the device back to them, and they gave me results a week later. Yeah, still working this one in. Hello, TC. How you doing? Blessed. I figured you sleep in a room, so yeah, I guess it's good to get out of here. Troy, I really like your chopped smock. You did an awesome job with that. You did the whole thing yourself? Mine is G10. I really think I want to get like metal scales for it, and something either metal or brass. But I don't know if it's worth it to just buy a whole brand new smock and do it from scratch rather than just get scales and have them made smaller. I just figured we'd all chat. I'm not really good at just coming up with stuff to talk about, but it's kind of good when people ask me questions or if we just chat online and see what's going on. You guys have your own conversation within the chat. Yeah, he did a good job with this. Seems like everybody is in love with this one. He did some cool ass milling there. Is that coming through pretty good? It's like the head of the alien. And this is a Ceylon Straub Damascus, like an angry pattern. We sent him 4 billets for him to work on, and he picked this one. Yeah, we are all over the place when it comes to knives. Like we have like super fancy builds, and we have super crazy builds, and then we have pretty simple builds. Let's see if I can bring one that you all would like. Here for you purple builders. This is one we got from France. This is a GTK. And this guy is very interesting. He's a paraplegic and he has some kind of rig in his shop and he does this all. His action is great, his materials. So this is TPT Morphaholic. My son's great, he's just sleeping. So this is a GTK, not a GTC. We have a few GTCs if you want to see them to compare. So this is Grind Tactical Knives, whereas GTC is Gustavo Tuccini. Don't worry, all the abbreviations sometimes get confusing. Here, I'll show you one. Let me just, here we go. This is our GTC. So this one, what's cool about it is there's no screws at all on it. And it has something called an interframe lock. Nick, most of the customs that I have are pretty expensive, but there are for some good like starter customs. Like if you can get a Vulcan, his price point is very similar to a nice production knife, and he does some beautiful things. Nick, I'm hoping to go to Lehigh. Let's see if I'm in town. I do have, I do want to sell two of my less expensive customs. This one is going to go for sale. It's an earlier version of a Vulcan knives. It's called the Wasp. I'm just not into crossbar locks. He does a great job with it, but it's just not my thing. I do not have anything from Lucas Gumbiner right now. We have plans for him to make something special for us. We've been working on it for a little while, so it's still a work in progress. We've had two of his knives, but they're just not right for us. Also, boat right. We've had some boat rights, but right now we don't have any. Good morning, Brashavir. So this one here is Wells. Also, he does a great job, and his price point is also in the $400 to $600 range for his stuff. So good starter things. Nick, you know, this is my daily carry. This is the one I use the most. And this is one of Jeff's knives. I have two other tough knives that are customs, but this is the one I use the most. And when I met Jeff, this is the one I had in my pocket. So he was kind of laughing at me. I have to sell one of the three of his that I have because I want to make one with him, and I try not to have too many from the same maker at the same time. So I want to go there and actually make it from scratch. I have one that I kind of helped him make, but it was already like 3/4 done by the time I went there. I can show it, I think, if I can find it. Sometimes that's the hard part, is to remember where I have everything. So yeah, sometimes I have a little map of where everything goes, and that helps me a lot. But of course, right now, when I want it, I can't find it. So my struggles, I know it's a very difficult struggle to have, right? I know. So here, I found them. Let's see what I have. So this is a special tough. He only made it once. and he put day glow in it. So these things that they all pop out at night. Same with around the blade hole. The purple on the other tufts, and this one here is the Demon Shade, which is basically a Voskave Nightshade in custom badass. Yeah. Yeah, it took a while to make this collection, but we've been trying to decide how to thin it out appropriately to get new ones. So it's always a challenge, what to keep, what to let go of. You know, you want to do the right thing, but you also want to keep your collection growing correctly. And who said that they like the scorpion? Here's a scorpion. Yeah, Kevin, that stonewash I did myself with him. That was kind of fun. It's a smaller knife, which is kind of cool for me because I'm not into the humongous ones. What's very cool is take a look how thick that blade stock is, and then it comes to a very fine point. Let's get the mirror edge on there. Even from the choil, you could see it just thickness to like, oh my God, in such a small space. Yes, Nick, I have a simian. I do have a simian. Again, I have to find it, decide where it is. And it's sometimes difficult to find it. Considering it's not in the case where it should be. Yes, I have everything labeled as to where it should be. Which just means that it's hiding in plain sight, which happens a lot. Yeah, sorry. No simian to show. I wish I could. I'll quickly go through, see if I can find it. I bet you anything my son has in his pocket or something. Yeah. Unfortunately, can't find it. Or can't show you. Yeah, I have an Umbo. I wish I could find it. I'm sure if I give it 5 minutes, I'd find it. Who knows? I'll show you one that I've been really enjoying lately. And this one is a very clean, well-loved knife. Like super, 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 super. Oh, Nick, I doubt it's lost. It's just misplaced. It's probably in the case in a different slot. So this is a William Collazo Bushido. So this was a knife maker. He's a disciple of Edison and Victor Barajas. If you don't know who those people are, Edison is the maker of Shark Knife Co., the Waka, the Shiru, and he's got his really high-end one called the Ryu, and this is very Ryu-esque. And then you have Victor, which is VIK knives, and he has the Forte and the Provic and a few others. So this is like one of the only single deployment knives that I have, and I've been very reluctant to get rid of it, even though it doesn't fit in our profiles. It's just that good. The action is just that good. He doesn't make knives anymore, but look at that fit and finish. It's like incredible. Yeah. Here, let me put a few back. Oh, now I know where the Simeon is. The Simeon is out on loan. It's going to another reviewer. I decided to start sending out some of my customs that are on the hit parade out to reviewers. So this is a Pena, custom Pena. Yeah, I'm just using the audio from my I don't know if it's coming from my earpiece or if it's coming from my camera. Hello, all. Yeah, so let's see. This is a Pena. So, yeah, great front flipper. Very small. Show you that geometry is more important. Yeah, the custom ones are superb. I've actually never held a non-custom Pena, but I actually got this out of his pocket at a barbecue at one of the blade shows, and I bought it from him straight from his pocket. And then he met me the next day and gave me all the stuff that comes with it, which is not much, just a case. Oh, I can tell you exactly because I have everything. Bratchaver, what is your name? Just easier to say. Are you Brass or Brad? Yeah, Nick, a lot of our knives have stories. We really, since a lot of ours are one of one or knives that we made, a lot of them are, have details to them. Specifically, our modded knives. Like this one, I constantly tell people, I'll change cameras. So this is a Oster F22, but what's special about this one is that we wanted to modify it. So we went up to Jared at a blade show and we said, we want to modify this knife. And he's like, explain to me what you want to do. So we explained to him what we wanted to do. And he's like, it will not work. And we're like, it's definitely going to work. He's like, it will not work. So we proved to him that it would work. And then he's like, I'm still not giving you permission, but if you give me the knife, I will do it for you. So he took this knife back and he then sent us a video of how he changed it. And what he did was he added a nail nick, because what we wanted to do was put a fuller in this, because we're like, we can deploy it off the blade. And he's like, no, it's a kickstop. The detent's too strong. It won't work. And we proved to him with two-sided tape. So he said he wanted to do it in his style. And since he makes this knife as a slip joint, he just mimicked what he does with the slip joints. And he lasered in a nail nick. And it works. It actually works very well. So now it's a multiple deployment with a kickstop and a nail nick. And this is not custom. This is a production, but it's customized by the actual designer with a video to go with it. I thought that's kind of cool. Hey there, Scott. How you doing? Scott, I'm going to see you again. I'm going to Orlando. So I fly into Fort Lauderdale, and I'm meeting with a collector friend of mine, and we're coming up on Friday morning. Got my hotel room, and I am ready. I just was bored and I decided to do a live and chat with all of you. Play with the knives. Anybody here fortunate enough to have gone to the Pacific Knife Show in Seaside last night or yesterday? So this here, I don't even remember the name of this model. This was a Kubi knife or a KB knives, and it's an integral. It's really nice. Yes, Scott, I am going to the TAC show in September. I fly in that Thursday night into Fort Lauderdale, and then I'm meeting up with another collector friend of mine, and we're driving up together on Friday morning. Yeah, Nick, this for a production, KB really did a great job with this. It's beautiful, right? So this I had sold to someone, and then after like 2 weeks or a month, he's like, I really can't afford it because I hadn't taken payment, and he's like, can I just send it back? I'm like, yeah, fine. I like production knives too. They don't have the same stories that that customs do, but look, this usurper is great. I mean, Sever really hit it out of the park with this. It's a beautiful design. I think they really hit the action. I had the prototype. I told him a few things I thought he should change. He did change a few things that I recommended. And nice. Yeah, I can show you some production knives that I actually just got that I think are fantastic. Especially for the price points. I got this on Wednesday or Thursday. This is the new Growler V3. This is the titanium with the S90V DLC. So I don't really sharpen things. I have a TS Prof. I'm not really good at it, so I don't really do any. I think I played with it on a few like really cheapo knives just to get the hang of it, but I have the TS Prof Pioneer. I did not get the Mini Dixon. I'm trying to convince John to make me one with a front flipper. I'm starting to really only want to buy knives that have multiple deployments, and even though it's a wonderful knife, it's just got that one deployment. I don't consider a blade hole 2 deployments like some people are. Well, you can reverse flick it and you can front flip it and you can forward flip it. I'm like, no, that's still one deployment. So I've asked him. He's been a little reluctant. Let's see. He doesn't really do customs. I even offered to do a custom with him. Trying to convince him that he should do like customs like Marfione does, where he has his productions, but then he does a few customized ones, and he sells them at a different price point, which is fine with me also. But they have to be better. Hey, Jim, just saw you came on. Haven't really been looking at the chat that much. Welcome. Yeah, I played with a few ProTechs. It's again, this is the multiple deployment issue. So like this one, you would think that it's only a stud, but this one, the front flipper works great too. And then the Devo, of course, they added this front flipper this time. I got to play with the prototype. I met Colin in Atlanta when I was there for to see my daughter who lives there. Yes, that is the KB Eclipse. I was having a hard time remembering the name. So I got to look at the prototype for this one, and I was when it was available, I picked one up immediately. I actually even got it a few days beforehand. What's the exception? Yeah, Crazy Roach. I agree. I mean, I spoke with him, and he's like, it's a business that, back in the old days, he used to make the knives himself. He was a fantastic custom maker, and he got too successful for being a custom maker. So Nick, I think that Devo going into integrals is great, and I think that integrals are nice. They're not the end all of end alls, and I have a basically dual thought process on it. First, the people who buy Devos are at a certain price point, and if they go beyond that price point, are they going to be able to sell the knives that they want to sell? By that I mean people who are buying $300, $350 Devos, that's at the highest end of the price point. If they are working on integral, if it ends up being $450, how many people are really going to be able to do it? Will some? Yes, but enough? I'm not sure. Not to mention, people who buy Devos like to play with their knives and take them apart and work on them and add skiffs and mod them and do things. That becomes more challenging with an integral. So integrals are great. They're fun. They're cool. They're stiff. But I'm not really certain that it's going to work. I have an Excalibur and I love it. First I have an issue with Kunwu, as many of you know. I don't think they did right by me, but I bought it on the secondary, and it's a great knife. I can't discount the MC and Devo, and Kunwu did a great job making that knife. It came together very well. Great quality. So I'm trying to figure out what you guys would like to see next. Let's see. I got a few more toys here, as I always do. So this is a VK crab This is a Poi Kilo. So far, currently my favorite Poi Kilo. I love VK Designs. I think he does a fantastic job. Here's the Excalibur. Solid, solid, solid knife. Look at that. I think that's just grime from a cut. And I don't really use these knives that much. But this one here, I can even front flip, which I played with others that I couldn't, but this one I can on a regular basis too. And it's not a light detent. It's a strong, solid knife, but I'm able to. And then, of course, the original Pictus. Definitely did a great job with that Pictus. How about some... I got 3 prototypes Devos. Hello there, Robin. Good morning. No, I do not have a custom Brian Brown. So I met him at Noki. He's a really nice guy. Considering it, I would like to get him to make me something special, something different, something that he hasn't done before. So still working on that. Yeah, Blackbird, I agree. That Pictus is, he really hit it out of the park with that one. Yes, Brian Brown makes great knives. I agree. So this one here is called the Hooch. It's a Devo prototype. It's going to be sold by, it's a Blade City exclusive, this whole knife line. So Blade City is really starting to rock it with some exclusives that they've done. I think they just came out with that Fenrir with the special blade. Looks good. And this is a custom, they basically bought the whole model. So you won't be able to get a Hooch from anyone but Blade City, from what I understand. This one here is the Niche design with Devo collab. And I think they're trying to rework this for price point reasons. But this one is like a very thin one, and you can actually hear that noise that it makes. Just amazing. And then this one right here is called the Mini Buzz. So this was a model that's been out called the Buzz that they made smaller. And this one is an Urban Cutlery exclusive. So this knife, the whole design, I think, is now exclusive to Urban Cutlery. So if you ever see these out there, they will be from Urban Cutlery. I think he's still working on some ideas for this. This is an early prototype. I think they've already gone through more prototypes since then. And I even think that he wants to do a USA made one. Yeah, most of Devo products, because it's made by Lefty, have righty and lefty options. But it's interesting how this one and this one have the traditional one. And this one I like actually better. They did a triangular inset, and I think it'll fit nicer. You won't be able to put a wire clip on that, but I think I was very happy with these, that I got these. Here are two more prototypes coming out. And Nick, if you're still there, guess who designed these? Can anybody guess? So these are both going to be put out by Urban EDC. I think this one's going to come out in December-ish. So this one does not have a left-hand side. This is an integral. It's just dirt. That's right, Nick. These are Prototype Tough collabs with Urban EDC. This one I think is slated for February. This one is not an integral. I love the grind on this one. I wish this one had a front flipper like the other one. I just can't get it. I think if you even just put jimping on here, it would work. This one here does have it. It has the jimping and the front flipper. I wish this one had the grind from this. I think that's a very cool grind. And I also wish that it was this size, because if you put them right next to each other, you'll see that one's bigger than the both. Yeah, they're both nice, but when you put them next to each other, do you really want to buy them both, or you want to just buy one? And if I were to buy one, I think I'd buy this one over this one right now. But if they can merge them, make it this size with an integral, with the front flipper and this grind, that would be like, that'd be really nice. Okay, I'll take this, and I'll take this, and I'll take this, and merge it into one knife. Let's see. Can you do it for me? And Nick, that is why they make so many different knives, because there are people that will like what you like, and there are people that like what I like, and that way they sell to both of us. That's right. Variety is the spice of life. So what are you all doing today? You just going to sit online and watch Tri-State after I get off? I think I'm probably going to go out. It's beautiful here in New York. Good morning, Trish. How are you? Yeah, I was bored, Trish, so I decided to get online and just start chatting with people. I always appreciate it though if I was on it with Hayden and we were just like arguing like we normally do. I think people would, like to watch us argue, which we do so often. Oh, missed that one. Oh, should I do the normal YouTube thing? If any of you are not subscribed, you should hit the like and subscribe. There, that's me. I got my wife got this for me. Yeah. We should all get this shirt, right? Yeah. She knows me so well. Look at that grind. Yeah, Nick, I have so many knife shirts now, but only a few that are like, most of them are knife maker shirts, knife company shirts. Yeah. So here, let's see. So these are the ones that I've been playing with this morning, the production ones. Mike, are you enjoying those? Yeah, I have nothing from One Moon. Really enjoying this Devo Growler. If there are any still available, you guys should hit them because they're really good. They have great action, great front flipper. They really nailed the angle and everything on it. My son and I argue. I think this is a great size. He thinks that because it's so wide this way, it should have been a slightly smaller this way. I like this size. This size normally, like if you think about it, these two are pretty much the same size, but because this is narrower in hand, he likes this size better. But Derek did a great job, Sever. Many of you know, designing this one. I haven't gotten a chance to play with his Get Some, but this one is great. Uh, 99 Blackbird. I would love to, but the truth is, I don't know what your name correlates to your real name. So Instagram me so I can correlate it to what I have, because I don't really know all of the individual names of everybody. Sorry. This is a cool one. I haven't pulled this out in a while. Does anybody here know what this is? I'm going to open it so you can tell. Create a little space here. Oh, yeah. Well, if I cover that, let's see. Yeah. Can anybody tell what that is? Okay, Chris. Yes. Sorry, I didn't know that that was your YouTube handle. Hello, Steve. Yeah, so this is a collaboration between, let's see if I can get JB Stout and Chavez. This is called the Megalodon. And this model, it's hard to see online, but the two of them actually signed the inside in there. And it's small and chunky, which is what I like. I wish I could get that front flipper, but I can't. But it's special because they signed it. I do not have an electrode from Franklin Forge. I met him in Atlanta. We arranged to meet. He actually came up to me after we coordinated where we were hanging out. And he's a nice young guy, just north of Orlando. And he's like 18 or 19. He's really doing great work. He showed me one that he had in his pocket, and I'm trying to get him to make me a smaller version of the same knife. We discussed it, and if we make it, we're going to call it the Electron. Basically, I introduced him to like 5 custom makers that live within an hour of where he is, because I figured as a young guy who's doing custom knives, it'd be kind of cool to have some local mentors that can kind of help him with the expansion into the knife industry. So we just walked around Blade Show and I introduced him to some people. He's in the some very high end custom knife makers and also some smaller batch ones. And I even had him meet 2 like super awesome machine makers that are in the custom realm that use CNC, very high end CNC work. But also it's kind of cool to have someone you can reach out to if you're hitting a problem with the way that your CNC is working, or if you're having any issues with how to mill out a certain idea. So I put him, with some gold standards, Hypercut, Dylan. I introduced him to Dylan. I introduced him to Jim Vanderbilt, even though he didn't have a table, but he was walking around. So I introduced him, and I was like, Jim, what do you think of this knife? I'm like, this 18-year-old made it, and Jim's like, what did I do with my youth? It's like I couldn't make anything this good until I was much older. So, um, there's a lot of young, talented people coming out and doing great stuff, and I can't wait to see what he does. Pickle Culture. Do you know where he's out of? I haven't seen that name before. I will write it down. Yes, I'm old fashioned. I still take pen and paper. Yeah, at this point in my collection, I'm starting to really want things that I want. Um, Even some of the builds that I make, like we're pushing people to make things that are out of their comfort zone. And some people tell me that like that's not fair to the maker, but um, most of the time when we kind of bring an idea to a maker, when they make future knives after they're done with ours, they add a lot of the things that we discussed with them to their future builds. So the ideas might be pretty good. Um, yeah, I'll give you a really good example of that. So I think it's a really good example of that. I can find it. Here we go. Here we go. So this is a knife. So we worked with Nicholas at Rob Johnson's. First, we tried to convince him to make a mini, and then he finally made the mini. And then, of course, he didn't add the front flipper that we asked him for. So we finally coerced him, and he said, "Yeah, I'll do it." We discussed what we should do, and then what happens is that he decided to make ours, and he liked it so much he made 5 more. He brought like 14 of these knives to Blade Show, and the first 5 that sold were the ones with our front flipper modification to them. So he came up to us and said, "Okay, that was a good idea." We actually gave him this billet of Futron forged Damascus. This is an Elmax core stainless Damascus, and he mills his line so you can see the milling line on the Damascus, and I think that's so cool. And it's a button actuated inset lock, so you can see that it's pushing the inset piece out. It's not a frame, it's not a liner, it's just a piece of metal in there. And he nailed the milling on this too. How's the quality of the image coming through? Crazy Roach, did you get it with the front flipper or not? Yeah, I'm actually selling my regular cedar if anybody's interested. It's also special, but it's a little too big for me. And it's on its way to a reviewer to be reviewed. So I don't have it with me, but it's fantastic. Beautiful pattern. Anyway, I think Tri-State is getting on, so I don't want to infringe on his space, and I just wanted to say hello to everyone. Hello there, Dwayne. Crazy Roach, good choice. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Everyone, have an awesome, awesome day. Okay. All right. Take care.